Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. This is my second video on the Antioch theater shooting of August 5th. I'm doing this video because the shooter's name has been released, and I want to show you how it contributes to the hoax that this event was. Recall that yesterday, this shooting was called in at 1:13 p.m. in the afternoon, and as I've been saying for more than a year straight, in almost every single shooting hoax, the number 113 is coded in some way. Here it is. The event started at that time with the phone call. If you're new here, the words mainstream, green screen, and dishonest all have gematria of 113. This number comes from Bava Kama A113, says a Jew can circumvent a Gentile, which is a non-Jew, by lying to them. And look at the word dishonest, a lot like lying. And think about who runs our media. Lots of Bergs and Steens, Zionist Jew names. Yesterday, when the story was first reported, they said the gunman was identified as a 51-year-old local man. Right away, I said, aha, look at that, 51, the number of conspiracy. But they've since changed it. The shooter is now a 29-year-old. And you have to ask yourself, how do they make such a major error in reporting? There is a big difference between a 51-year-old and a 29-year-old. They released his name later, Vicente David Montano. In Pythagorean gematria, this number sums to 89. Important number to Freemasonry. The word religion has gematria of 89. Special number, Royal Archmasonry 89. Something that gets coded very often. Think about last summer's big shooting in August. Michael Brown shooting, which took place on 8/9, August 9th. Talk about this number much. The shooter's name in Jewish gematria, that last name of Montano, sums to 311 in Jewish gematria. The reflection of 113, numbers that I talk about very much. The phrase the beast in Jewish gematria equals 311. USA breaks down to 311. If you've never seen my video on our keyboard, the original name for the keyboard that we use has gematria of 311. The home row sums to 33. I have a video if you want to check that out. Our entire keyboard is coded with this stuff. Why? Because we live in a sandbox that is a world essentially created by the Freemasons with their coding and all the things we use, from the television to the keyboard and a whole lot more. 311 the Beast. Also notice his first and last name has gematria of 92. They said the shooter was 29 years old, Vicente Montano. They said he had an arrest record dating back to 2004. 2004 in Murfreesboro, which has the gematria of 155, the number connecting to Christianity. Again, this shooting took place in Antioch, Tennessee. In history, the cradle of Christianity is Antioch. And as I continue to say in these videos, the numbers coded within often come from the Bible and especially Revelation. Lots of Christian coding in this shooting, most notably Antioch. Police Chief Steve Anderson said that the Montano was 29 years old. I want to know where the reporting of 51 came from. And call me crazy, but that looks like a fireman's axe. Firemen, police, lots of Masons in those organizations. So this is the image of the 51-year-old / 29-year-old, depending on which reporting you read. Possibly a completely falsified image. We live in this age of incredible computer technology where we can generate false people. They say this guy was spraying pepper spray, wielding a hatchet, and carrying an airsoft gun. So not even a real gun this time, but there's two things that are interesting about airsoft. In simple English gematria, airsoft sums to 88. He went into a Mad Max film. The original Mad Max film was released in the year 79 and ran 88 minutes. They also said this theater was part of the Hickory Hollow complex, the HH. H is the eighth letter. HH is 88. Kind of like the coding of airsoft, 88. That original Mad Max film released in 79, running 88 minutes. Again, the words poison in program, some to 88, often coded into these hoaxes. And as I said in yesterday's video, in the Aurora, Colorado theater shooting, the shooter's name summed to 58. In the Lafayette, Louisiana shooting, they originally reported the shooter's name the shooter was 58 years old, was the original reporting. It changed to 59 later. That was reported by a police officer who had 58 name gematria, and the shooting took place at a theater, Grand Theater, which had name gematria of 58 as well. And then yesterday's shooting came on August 5th, which is written as 58 or 85. So all three of these theater shootings being connected through this number, and then lo and behold, airsoft gun in Pythagorean gematria, 58. 58. And get this blurb down here, Truth Seeker. Notice the posting time of 709, kind of like 79, the year of the Mad Max release. The word murder has gematria of 79. Look at this. Mother of Vicente Montano filed a missing persons report on 8/3/15, told officers she hadn't seen him since 2013. So get that. She hadn't seen him since 2013, so for more than 2 years. But just 2 days earlier, she files a missing persons report, and then he shoots up somebody. You know why they put these ridiculous stories in front of our eyes? Because in the minds of the sheep, this is legitimacy for it. They'll say, oh, see, he has a mother. She just filed this missing persons report. So obviously he's a real person. Obviously this is a real story. But they don't use real critical thinking skills and go, well, wait a minute. What the hell? He's been missing since 2013. And 2 days after she files the missing persons report, he shows up and shoots up a theater? It's just straight up bullshit. There's no other way to explain it. Notice, inside the theater, Montano attacked a 58-year-old man. So that's who got the hatchet. And his 17-year-old daughter. Now it's not a 51-year-old shooter, it's a 51-year-old woman was also treated for effects of the pepper spray. His name Denise Pruitt's given. They say this is his mother's name. She has some interesting name gematria. 57, a very feminine number connecting to Mary, Julie. And 66 with the S exception. If you write out 33, it sums to 66. We often find 33 and 66 coded into the hoaxes together as well. Here's an image of his arrest from 2004, supposedly. Notice we have Chris Cannon, CC33, giving us the details. This image is interesting because it appears he's taller in this picture than this picture, which is shades of the recent Clinton facility prison escape story that reminded us of the Shawshank Redemption. The media drew those parallels. They kept putting out the images of the one man with the shaved head, and depending on what image the media put out that day, his height was alternating between 3 inches, 3-inch differential. The media does all this stuff on purpose just to taunt us, just to make sure we're still asleep, just to make sure we're pacified, just to make sure we're as dumb as we've been for oh so many years. Like we're under a magical spell of idiocy. That name Chris Cannon has gematria 55 like Satan, also like 64. Another number they love to code a lot, 8 times 8 is 64. Again, I covered this yesterday in the shooting. I just want to mention, even look at this headline that CNN first put up. Active shooter reported at Tennessee movie theater at 3:33 p.m. Remember 33, they love that number in the Hoax. But anyway, this is the second one in a number of weeks in Tennessee. We had that one shooting of 4, then 5 Marine officers. Tennessee has this gematria of 106, a number getting coded an awful lot, the number of prophecy. Seeing it coded in almost every major shooting right now. Really stood out in the Charleston church shooting, 106 coded all over it. Again, 33, the number coded into all the hoaxes, especially the shooting ones. The beneficiaries of these incidents are people such as the NRA, who are invested in gun sales, gun ownership. The police, who get more and more money with each of these shootings, more and more funding. The theater this happened in was the Carmaki, which has gematria of 33. Hickory, 44, the kill number. Carmaki, Hickory, 8, sums to 85, the reflection of 58, the number getting coded into all the theater shootings. Again, last theater in Lafayette, Louisiana was the Grand Theater with gematria of 58, the reflection of 85. James Egan Holmes, who shot up the Aurora, Colorado theater and who is on trial right now while these theater shootings are going on, has gematria of 58. And you know, that's what people in the mainstream would say. They'd say, oh, these shooters, they're all copycats. They just get influenced by what's on TV. They're doing it because this James Egan Holmes trial just began. They see it. They want to be famous. So now they're going out and shooting up their local theater. I know how the mainstream thinks. I grew up with the mainstream. My parents are the mainstream. They think like the mainstream for the most part. These are the types of things they would say. We got to wake up, though. We got to see how this is an agenda, and the media only reports based on agenda. Some of the other words for this shooting are Hickory Hollow. I noticed Hickory Hollow in simple English gematria sums to 174. Notice that Hollow alone is 85, the reflection of 58, the number getting coded in all the shootings. Hickory is 89, like the shooter's full name in Pythagorean gematria. That number 174, though, is interesting. New World Order has the gematria of 174. This is a number that gets coded a fair amount. If you went back and watched all my videos, you'd probably see where I've talked about it maybe 20 times out of 600 posts. It shows up. But check this out. The original Batman shooting was the Batman movie The Dark Knight Rises. Batman, 174. And Knight, as in Dark Knight, 174. As I continue to say, all of these stories are grouped, categorized, organized by the numbers. There's a reason that these same numbers are on all of these theater shootings. Again, Antioch, Tennessee, the Christian connections with the special gematria having to do with death. Caskets go 6 feet deep, are 8 feet long. Antioch, Tennessee has the 6886 coding. This is another symbolic shooting. Symbol, triangle, and pyramid. All simple English gematria of 86. Antioch in history is the cradle of Christianity. Remember, this shooter was arrested in Murfreesboro 11 years ago in a town with Christianity gematria. Again, that police officer, the bad liar, the teleprompter reader, Don Aaron with the 3349 name, 49 a number of revelation, put it together, it sums to 82. 82 is interesting in this shooting because the theater that got shot up was showing Mad Max Fury Road, a movie that released on May 15th, 2015, 82 days before the shooting. This movie has to do with a Fallout world, a post-Armageddon world, a post-apocalyptic world. Remember, the word Armageddon has gematria of 82. And with regards to all this 58 coding, somebody just pointed out to me that Jade Helm has gematria of 58. And we've been seeing a whole lot of 58 coding in all sorts of stories. So perhaps this is alluding to something bigger is coming involving Jade Helm. Tennessee, where this happened, is not a Jade Helm state. Louisiana, where the last theater shooting happened, is not a Jade Helm state. However, Colorado, where the original theater shooting happened with this coding, is a Jade Helm state. So keep that in mind. If we see a bigger story, if we see another theater story, somehow that connects to this, perhaps that's the piece of the puzzle we're now missing. Perhaps this is all signaling something bigger about Jade Helm. Also, Truth Seeker, 82 days is the equivalent of 1,968 hours, kind of like the year 1968. That's the year 911 became the emergency dialing code. That's the year World Trade Center construction started. That's the year Space Odyssey 2001 came out. 1968, an important year. MLK was assassinated that year. Also notice this span of 11 weeks, 5 days. 115 is what Freemasons sums to, the plural in simple English gematria. Also, the word killing in Jewish gematria is 115. Another killing story here. And Truth Seeker, I like to acknowledge my critics. Somebody posted this, and just in case I'm wrong, I'll put this out there. The person's name was Conspiracy Theorist. He wrote, "You, my friend, are so off it's not even funny. This was not a false flag by any means. Being that I have close friends that were there, I can tell you this was real, and in no way did it have anything to do with a false flag." He wrote that to my video yesterday. You know, maybe some of you are sympathetic to conspiracy theorist thoughts. I, however, am not. There it is, Mad Max, 88 minutes, the original, released in 79 in April. You know what 79 reminds me of, Truth Seeker? It reminds me of the year of the first Pope visit to the United States. The first Pope to visit the United States was the one that was sworn in on the date with 33 numerology after the Pope before him was murdered on his 33rd day of being Pope on a date with 44 numerology, September 28th, 1978, 44 the kill number. Pope John Paul II came here in 79, the year Mad Max was released. And this year, 2015, 36 years later, remember what's special about 36? If you sum 1 through 36, it sums to 666, the mark of the beast number. The last theater shooting, Truth Seeker, the one with Trainwreck, that was all coding for September 23rd, the day the Pope comes. September 23rd, 2015. The movie Trainwreck reminds us of the Philadelphia train wreck, which happened at 9:23 p.m., a lot like the date September 23rd. The movie Trainwreck stars LeBron James. LeBron James has Jewish gematria of 923, a lot like 923 for September 23rd. The shooter for the Trainwreck premiere shooting, John Russell Hauser, has name gematria of 239. 23-9, another way to write September 23rd. And some people pointed out that his spelling had alternate methods in the media. There was another method with one less L in the name. In that case, it sums to 227, the number having to do with circles and cycles. I'll remind you that the MH370 headlines that are in front of us right now, they found this plane part from this plane missing from more than a year ago, supposedly. That plane had 239 passengers, 12 of which were crew, meaning 227 passengers, 12 crew, 239 people on the plane. Truth Seeker, these people are exposed. We know what they're doing. We have the knowledge to, unravel what they have woven against us. And we need to do that. It is these Zionist Masonic Jews who are doing this to us. Recall that Torah in Jewish gematria sums to 239, a lot like September 23rd. That's the date of Yom Kippur this year, the most important Jewish holy day, the Day of Atonement, the day of repenting for our sins. Truth Seeker, for all this time that I've been trying to expose the truth of this world, which was long before I knew about numerology or gematria, I've been telling people that we have to stop participating in the gimmicks given to us by the gang that rules us. Those gimmicks are things such as TV shows, movies, rigged sports games, false news. These are the things we will have to atone for as a society, for being fooled by these gimmicks, for giving so much energy and investment into these gimmicks. We've been spending all our time with their bullshit instead of doing the things we need to do to free ourselves from the invisible chains that bind us all in this world. That's why they're hoaxing us by shooting up movie theaters. Because the movie is one of the most important things to us as a society. One of our favorite escape tools. So many of these people in this nation don't know a thing about anything really going on in the world, but they have infinite knowledge about movies, TV shows, sports games. There's a method to the madness by the gang that hoaxes us. The United States is known as the American dream. They give us all these gadgets to keep us asleep. Don't be fooled, Truth Seeker. Help spread the word. Until next time.